I've just been playing with my new cellular modem from T-Mobile. Actually, it's not from T-Mobile. It's a Peplink MAX BR1 PRO 5G, and I just hooked it up with a MIMO 4 antenna set up on the roof. It's temporary because they're doing metal work around the roof, or will be. So I have it basically mounted where I think it should go, or at least in the direction it should go. And we're getting really good results. Finally, we have quick internet. Yay! So let me turn it around here and show you what we got on the screen. So this is the last speed test I ran. It's pretty substantial compared to all the other stuff we're running. With AT&T, we were able to get in the 20s. Historically, we tried 3 different units. I will go through that in a minute. The other 3 failed. This one is running just fine. And I'm going to show you the setup that I currently have that's working great. So this cell modem stuff is actually was a little frustrating because we've tried 3 different units apart from the one we had from AT&T from 2.5 years ago. It was just slow, so in my haste for a little better performance, I opted for third-party stuff. One of them was the MIFO 5500. That worked for about a week. In the RV, we're hitting speeds of up to about 100 meg. That's more on top of the hill that we're on. It was great. We went to move it into the house and it didn't work at all. Couldn't connect to the tower, never connected ever again. So we returned that one. The second one was called a Cudy, C-U-D-Y. I can't remember the actual model number, it doesn't really matter. It could not read our SIM card. The reader, for whatever reason, it never actually read the card. It kept saying no card inserted. It had 2 slots, tried both, neither worked, so I returned that one. I'm not into the troubleshooting business for those guys, so if it didn't work, it didn't work. We then tried the Peplink, the same unit we currently have, but not the 5G. It's the MAX BR1 PRO. That kind of tried to connect, this is to AT&T by the way, which we dumped last week, but it could not connect to the tower either. It kept going through a loop setup, never did connect to the tower. Again, I'm not in the troubleshooting business. It either works with the SIM card or it doesn't. That's just how these things work. We returned that one and called it quits. We then had real fun with AT&T support. Roughly I wasted 2 days of my life dealing with that stuff. We had an old unit, I can't remember the name of it. Doesn't really matter. It's 2.5 years old, 3 years old technology. It's just slow. So in my haste trying to get a little better performance out of it, I opted for third-party stuff. Meanwhile, when the last couple of units, AT&T reprogrammed a brand new SIM, they actually created a brand new account, which we didn't realize they did that. Gave us a different plan. The stuff did not work worth a darn. You couldn't, I mean, it was like bits bandwidth, not megs. So totally useless. We then switched, tried dealing with AT&T. It didn't work very well. So we hastily went to, quickly went to T-Mobile. They have a very good business plan. We're on it right now. They default free hardware. It's called Inseego FX2000. Although it works, it's really slow. Has internal antennas, and the external antennas you can get for it are not sufficient for all the bandwidths or the bands that the cell stuff uses, especially 5G. So that was a no-go. So we ended up buying the most expensive unit, of course, naturally, the Peplink. It's the MAX BR1 PRO 5G. Put in the SIM card, ta-da, it connects. It was slow from inside the house. We got the 4 MIMO antennas, and now we're getting over 70 meg download, which is fantastic. This is the first time in like 3 weeks that we're able to actually do anything through the internet. Angie's been working on her hotspot, and that's pretty quick. That's around 70-ish as well. But of course that's not sufficient for a local area network. So anyway, I'll show you the setup I have right now. I can't say, thumbs up because it's working, and I'm very happy with the bandwidth that we're getting. So this is the unit that comes with the T-Mobile by default. It's a free unit. I guess it works. I actually took it to the roof, got 3 bars on it, so it wasn't like terrible. It's supposed to be good up to, perfect conditions. 1 gig, I'm pretty surprised with that if it comes anywhere close to that. They might mean internal LAN stuff, not cellular modem connectivity. But it's supposed to be able to do 100 to a gig, no problem. Here's a unit that we're using. Again, it's the Peplink BR1 MAX PRO 5G. You can see it's actually cells connected. We're running, and actually it's working really well. This is basically 10 minutes ago I fired this baby up and we're getting good speeds. We're done. I have the external line going through the wall. I'll show you the roof in a minute. So here's my janky setup for now. It works. I hope I don't get radiation. Antennas. Actually, these aren't outgoing, they're incoming. Oh, they're outgoing too. So these are the 4 MIMO antennas. Nothing's locked in. Everything's still kind of loose. You can see that everything moves. I'm gonna tighten it up a little bit in a minute, but it's a standard connectors, waterproof, and the angle of dangles, they recommend it to be what it is. And we're basically shooting through those trees way over there, and it's working great. A slight angle, I believe the tower, when I was talking to T-Mobile, is somewhere down in San Marcos. They said 4.2 miles away. Regardless, we're doing great. Let me show you what else is going on here. So DirecTV, I don't know if I actually shot this before, but this is kind of a temporary mount because again, the guys are doing metal work, doing the panels, so not all the screws are really in or super tight, and everything that makes sense is up here. That's the cell booster for the phone. That's currently through AT&T. Guess what? That's going away. All our cabling runs through this here, and Job's going to make some kind of a panel thing here so we can hide everything real nice, and don't have to worry about it. Anyway, everything's working great. We got great DirecTV connectivity. Got the best signal we've ever had, but I am super pumped about this stuff. Yay. So with all the good stuff I just said, I have to kind of bitch a little bit about AT&T. The worst customer service experience I've ever had with anything I've ever done in my entire life. Not only can they not speak English very well, one of them I actually asked if I could speak to somebody else because I could not understand his English. They put me on to somebody else. Very broken English, just horrible. Switching to the good side of T-Mobile, I have a business contact. A guy I can talk to, speaks great English. He's in Austin. He set us up with everything. Basically, we're switching our phones over as well, and he provided all the information. We don't have to talk to anybody in the store or anybody that doesn't speak very well. Sorry, it's what it is. And we're very grateful for having that a real person to contact and talk to. We're getting new phones as well. Yay, part of the course. And we're going to go through the whole process of dumping AT&T, and they can kick it. Their customer support, it's important. I go through that with my clients. I try to do the best I can, and I don't have anybody screaming and yelling at me because I offer very good service, I think. They don't seem to care. You get bopped around from person to person. I talked to, I don't know, 8 people. The last guy in AT&T created a second account, like I mentioned. Now we're getting charged for 2 accounts. Angie's taking care of that right now. And just a very unfun experience. And again, 2 days of my life is gone. That includes 8 hours on the phone and several hours of just bitch sessions, going to the store 3 times, 40 minutes here, an hour there, 3 hours, talking to them for a while, etc., etc. Yeah, that's not the way to go. Anyway, enough of the bitch session. I'm happy. We're moving on to another chapter. Things are rolling.